What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you don't miss any of the awesome content that we have coming out. And with this video, we are jumping into Shadow War Alpha, issue number 1. This story is going to be following the events right after Robin. The last issue, we saw Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul, and Damian Wayne all coming together, with Talia al Ghul truly trying to be a mother to her son. We learn a terrible truth, that Ra's al Ghul, he is dying. The Lazarus pits, they are cursed, no longer granting him immortality. We are seeing a shift in how Ra's al Ghul views the world. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with the Robin line, which if you haven't been, you definitely need to do so, be sure to check out the links in my description as well at the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with Robin ever since the Infinite Frontier began. Be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this alpha issue, we are picking up with Ra's al Ghul looking at himself in the mirror. A man who has stood toe to toe with the Justice League. A man who has lived thousands of years. He is becoming an old man. He is beginning to cough, having blood come up. He knows that his time is limited. Hearing some screaming out in the courtyard, he runs, grabs a sword, goes to see what the commotion is, who might be attacking. But all this is a little fun between mother and son, with Damian and Talia al Ghul sitting outside having a sparring match. As he watches the two of them go at it, he can't help but feel a little bit sentimental. This is his legacy. This is what he lives for. Those two individuals right there. And now with death on his doorstep, he feels that more than ever. And as this sickness continues to degrade his health, he knows that it is time. Taking us to Gotham City, we have Batman doing his usual Batman thing, kicking the butt of a guy who is trying to kidnap felons and use them for manual labor, making quick work of this guy, throwing a chain around him. This is when Oracle chimes in, patching the newsfeed directly to his cowl. This is where he finds out that Ra's al Ghul and Talia al Ghul are going to be turning themselves in, with Ra's al Ghul having just a couple of stipulations, one of them being he wants to make a public statement. And as the whole world watches this, as Batman examines this, nobody is thinking that Ra's al Ghul and Talia al Ghul are gonna tell us anything more than just some kind of evil plot, some kind of ruse, some kind of misdirect for us. This guy is like a freaking supervillain, not like, he is a supervillain. The world wants to know, what angle is this? And so with the media in a frenzy over this information, we pick up with Damian Wayne eavesdropping on his mother and grandfather. And right now, Talia, she is livid because she doesn't want to turn herself in. She thinks that this is a very stupid idea and she's trying to understand why he would do this. But he believes that this is for the best, that it is for their family. Because the truth is, they have tried to change the world through violence countless times. With his new perspective on life, he is believing it is time to try something else. Believing that they owe that much to Damian. And while he hasn't earned it, he is asking that his daughter will just trust him on this. And so picking up the day he is supposed to be giving a public speech, Batman is keeping eyes on everything. If Ra's al Ghul or Talia al Ghul try anything, he's gonna jump. Perched up on this rooftop, this is where he runs into Damian. He hadn't seen him since the death of Alfred, with Damian Wayne really more or less not blaming him, but holding him kind of accountable for it. He had to get away. He had gone to his mother, but she turned him away, and that's what led him to the tournament to begin with. All of this transpiring in the Robin series. And one of the very few times we have Batman speechless, because he really doesn't know what to say here. And while he contemplates saying something sentimental, something from the heart, what he asks is, what is Talia al Ghul and your grandfather doing here? Letting him know that they believe in doing the right thing, and that once they are safe, they can swap tails. But for the time being, he is telling Batman to stay on mission. Director Chase of the DEO, allowing him to have this public statement saying that everybody is on standby if he tries something, he goes up to the podium, letting the world know that many know him as the Demon's Head, revealing to them that he has lived for thousands of years. He has seen everything that this world has to offer, both good and bad. But right now, this world is hurting. For the few last 100 years, he has been blaming humankind for that, even believing taking out the population was the answer. But with his newfound perspective, he has found the value in people. He wants to see a better future. Believing that he was the only one that could save the world, he has learned how wrong he was. Keeping the Lazarus Pit secret for all of this time, he is ready to give them to the world, to gift the science of the Lazarus Pits to everybody. And as he is about to share with everyone what will actually save their future, we hear a bang. Ra's al Ghul's head goes back, blood comes pouring out, because he just got assassinated. The one who pulled the trigger is Deathstroke. Without hesitation, Batman moves in. Damian, witnessing his grandfather being taken out, he is in absolute awe. He is in absolute shock. As the bullets continue to rain down, the crowd disperses. Talia al Ghul gets hit in the arm. She gets hit multiple times. That is until Batman catches up with Deathstroke, trying to take him on one-on-one. Deathstroke has contingencies. Using a detonator, we see vehicles blowing up all around the crowd. With one detonator left, he lets Batman know that you can go save Ra's al Ghul's body because he has a bomb directly next to him, or you can take me down. The choice is yours. With the grenade ticking next to Ra's al Ghul's head, we see Damian rushing in, trying to get there in time to save his grandfather. The bomb detonates. Batman comes swooping in at just the last second to save Damian. Witnessing his grandfather turn to ash, he punches at Batman. He blames him for everything, saying that he could have saved him, that you could have let me save him. Batman always finds another option, and this time you didn't. But for Batman, this was no choice. It was save Ra's al Ghul or save Damian Wayne. And every single time, Batman will always pick his son. With Batman wanting him to come home, Damian doesn't see that anymore. He wanted to tell him everything that has happened, about all of his adventures, about all of the people that he has met. But now he is feeling like he has lost two grandfathers because of Batman, because of the choices that he has made. And while this isn't necessarily fair, Batman tells him that if he had been there when Alfred died, he could have saved him. Damian was the one there. And this cuts him right to his core. Walking away from the Bat, he lets him know that he is going to hunt down Deathstroke, and he plans to bring him in, dead or alive. Taking us to Nepal, Talia al Ghul is brought in on helicopter. As they prepare to drop her into the Lazarus Pit, she tells them no. To get the best doctors, heal her up, and tell all of the shadows it is time to come home. With Talia al Ghul calling in every single favor. Calling in the cavalry. Everybody she knows has shown up because she is ready to go to war. But they're not going just for Deathstroke. They're going for his family. Anyone who has ever worked with him, anyone who tries to protect him. Talia wants to kill all of them. Taking us to Deathstroke Inc. We are picking up with Prometheus and Deadline, with them just learning the news that Deathstroke assassinated Ra's al Ghul, not understanding why he did this, why he brought this attention to them. This is where we see Deathstroke and Respawn. Now, I believe up to this point, it wasn't really known who Respawn was. I believe throughout the entire course of the Robin series, it remained anonymous. But what we are seeing here is that it is in fact Deathstroke's son. While many of us assume this is a confirmation, as Deathstroke begins to threaten everybody for questioning his movements. He is letting them know that this was not him. He has been here all day training with Respawn. So whoever it was that assassinated Ra's al Ghul, it was not Deathstroke. Letting everyone know that they need to prepare and be ready for the attack, that it is inevitable. In that same moment, the wall explodes and the demon shadow descends upon them. As we dive into part 2 of the Shadow War, we are picking up with Batman and Director Chase of the DEO. They are currently investigating the assassination site of Ra's al Ghul. The question is, how did they get close enough, and how did they make their getaway? As Batman makes a digital recreation of the exact moment of this attack, having satellites up in the sky, he is able to find out exactly where this bullet came from. But furthermore than that, he can find out exactly how Talia al Ghul, she was missed, and Deathstroke, he never misses his shot. If he wants you dead, he is going to kill you. Thinking maybe possibly Talia al Ghul might have something to do with this. Trying to figure out how they got in and out of this location, this is where Director Chase takes Batman to a tunnel. A newly formed and carved out huge cavern. This thing goes all the way to the city limits. Batman now has to figure out why his satellites didn't pick this up. This would require huge machinery. Having gathered just a little bit of more information, this is where he's going to go pay a visit to somebody he knows very well. Meanwhile, at Deathstroke Incorporated, it is all out war. The League of Shadows comes descending down on every one of them. In this all out pandemonium, they are just trying to survive. And from this swarm of ninjas, this is where we see Angel Breaker. Leading the charge, she has come to get revenge. As Angel Breaker cuts her way through, we see Prometheus, he's getting out of here, recognizing the odds are not in their favor, with Angel Breaker telling Detonator to level the building. As this missile comes flying in, we see Deathstroke and Respawn make a jump for it. As they make their escape from this collapsing building, now they go into hiding. That's what takes us to a bar, with Ravager sitting here having a couple of drinks. We have Damian Wayne who shows up on scene, letting her know that her father has gone too far, and she already knows this. Without any hesitation, she finishes her drink, she gets up, and she is ready to go kill Slade Wilson. Taking us to Nepal, we pick up at the Demon's Palace. Batman making his stealthy entrance. Ninjas try taking him on, quickly knocking them out. He makes his way to Talia al Ghul. And of course, Talia was expecting Batman's arrival. Avoiding all of the small talk, Batman gets straight to it, making the accusation that she is responsible for Ra's al Ghul's death, that she worked with Deathstroke and made it appear like they were gonna go to war. And she finds this very insulting. Right now, grieving her father, she really expected Bruce Wayne to know her better than this. Batman bringing up the Lazarus Pits, because Ra's al Ghul has died before and he is able to come back all the time. What makes now different? But Talia al Ghul deflects, saying you saw his body, it was completely destroyed. The truth that she doesn't want to tell him is that she doesn't trust the Lazarus Pits, not understanding exactly what is going on with them. And we have Batman slowly starting to realize that she didn't actually have anything to do with this. But Talia is fully believing that Deathstroke is responsible. He has been building up an army for quite some time. She has been keeping tabs on this. She was hoping he wouldn't make the first strike. But this assassination, she sees it as just that. And now she is ready to bring hell down on him. Asking where Damian might be, Batman lets her know that him and Ravager are out there looking for Deathstroke. Infuriated that he is out there by himself looking for a killer, she goes to take a swing at him, but we quickly see that she is injured. Not wanting to use the Lazarus Pits, the doctors did the best they could. As Talia falls into his arms, we see for a moment that flicker of light, it sparks again. Bruce Wayne goes to say something. As she tells him to shut up, we see the two of them kiss. Alright gang, so diving into this issue, we are picking up with Angel Breaker and Raptor. Raptor being a member of Deathstroke's new secret society, and Angel Breaker coming under the orders of Talia al Ghul. They are searching all of his known associates to try and find a location to where Deathstroke may be. As the League of Shadows begins rounding up all of them, we pick up underneath San Francisco. We have Deathstroke and Respawn. Respawn, quote-unquote, is the son to Deathstroke. And I say that because he is the result of an experimentation done by Ra's al Ghul. He is a mixture of Talia al Ghul and Deathstroke, but Slade is leading them to an underground facility. This is one that he had kept on hand when he was taking on the Teen Titans. This is a location that is off-grid. It gives them a little bit of time to regroup and figure out what the heck is going on. The truth of the matter, Deathstroke did not kill Ra's al Ghul. Someone is out there framing him. Someone dressed up exactly like him and is making it look like he is fully responsible. As he shows Respawn a little bit of everything going on, what's available here, all the weapons, the training, so on and so forth. Slade is letting him know that he is going to train him up, that he is going to show him all of the tricks. And more, we are seeing that he wants to be exactly like Deathstroke, but they have to put training off to the side. He has to focus on everything going on, needing to regroup with the rest of the secret society. He sees if he is able to get in touch with anybody out there, thinking maybe there's a possibility that Talia al Ghul hired someone to kill her own father and start this war. That's where we pick up with Bruce and Talia. The last we saw them, the two of them had been kissing, but Bruce lets her know that this was a mistake, that he is currently in a relationship with Selena, that she's more or less his girlfriend, so on and so forth. Talia saying it was only a moment of weakness, believing that she lost a lot more blood than she actually thought. With Bruce putting his mask back on, they get down to business, trying to figure out what the heck is going on. What Talia does know is that Ra's al Ghul has been rejecting the Lazarus Pits. His mind had been the clearest it had ever been in centuries, and all he wanted to do was share his knowledge with the world. She believes this is all because of Damien, showing that his legacy would truly live beyond himself, that Damian Wayne would be the future. This is where they get interrupted by Angel Breaker, coming in with Raptor in her hands. Raptor mentions the tournament on Lazarus Island, and somehow Batman was unaware of this tournament even going on. Not only that, it was a death tournament. Raptor, not knowing that Batman wasn't privy to this information, he quickly is recognizing he's just making everybody mad at him today. Raptor continuing on with his same story, saying he doesn't know where Deathstroke is. Batman wanting to interrogate him himself. Angel Breaker unwilling to give him up. We see Batman jump into action, knocking the sword out of Angel Breaker's hand, telling Raptor to make a run for it, letting Talia know that she is making a mistake, to call off the Demon's Shadow, to let him find Deathstroke and solve this problem. Batman quickly recognizing he is not going to get out of here. He starts knocking some head on some ninjas and he makes his escape. Talia saying let him go, leave Batman to his own hunt. We're gonna track Raptor, because somehow Raptor is gonna get in communication with Deathstroke and warn him that we are coming down with all of our might. And that is what is going to lead them directly to Deathstroke. Taking us back to our bunker, we have Slade and his son sitting down playing cards. And what we're learning is that Respawn really hasn't had the opportunity to live in any way, shape, or form. Not knowing any card games, not having any friends, absolutely nothing. Them getting interrupted by Raptor, saying that someone in the secret society will eventually give him up, that it is only a matter of time before they figure out your location. Not only that, but Batman is searching for you as well, telling him to stay safe and stay hidden, with Deathstroke recognizing that they are going to be here much longer than he anticipated. What they did not expect was someone to find them so quickly. As the power gets cut, it goes to complete darkness inside of here. We see the front door open up, and as Respawn goes in to take on whoever is walking through the door, he quickly gets knocked down to his butt, having the arrival of Damian Wayne and Ravager. Alright gang, so as we jump into part 4 of Shadow War, we have Batman having a conversation with Oracle, as he begins filling Oracle in on everything that has been transpiring. What he wants her to do is locate Damian, because the last time that he saw Damian, he swore that he was gonna get vengeance for his grandfather. He was going straight for Slade Wilson. Now that's what's going to take us to San Francisco, because this is where Deathstroke has been hiding out with Respawn, an old hideout bunker that they had back in the Teen Titan days, back when Deathstroke was going against the Titans. Ravager being the only individual to know where this is. Lucky for Damian, him and Ravager, they teamed up to hunt down her father. Ravager and Damian, they both believe they have the upper hand because they have the element of surprise. What they did not expect is Deathstroke to hit the kill switch. This entire facility is rigged with explosives, being willing to kill himself, Respawn, and everybody else if that ensures the death of those who would come onto this fortress. With a giant explosion from the rubble, we see Deathstroke picking up Respawn, saying that they gotta get out of here. He knows for a fact that Ravager and Damian are gonna be getting up, that they don't have long before they are gonna be head off by these guys. Not only that, it is only a matter of time before Talia and all of her assassins, as well as Batman, make their arrival. As the two of them go to make their escape, this is where they are cut off by Damian. Meeting them on the rooftops, we see the battle break out. And while everybody is fighting one another, Respawn is trying to let it be known that they did not do this, that somebody has set them up. Damian not sure why he should believe him in the slightest bit. This is when Respawn takes off his mask, and it is revealed to be Robin, looking almost identical to Damian Wayne. Now, Damian's not sure what this is. Maybe this is a trick from Mother Soul, but Respawn lets Damian know that they are brothers. He is the creation of Ra's al Ghul, mixed together with both Talia al Ghul and Deathstroke. He was created because Ra's al Ghul knew that his daughter would never allow him to operate or experiment on his grandson Damian. Because of that, he made this creation, Slade Wilson and Talia. While he tries to piece all of this information together, you can see the confusion on his face. But that confusion, it quickly turns to happiness, learning that he has a blood brother. He has a half-brother. Unfortunately, Respawn does not feel the same way, immediately getting back into this fight, letting Damian know that he had everything. He had a father's and a mother's love. Everything that he believes Damian took for granted. As Robin and the Robin clone go toe-to-toe, Ravager and Deathstroke, they stand off to the side and they watch all of this go down. Deathstroke wanting to see how truly capable Respawn might be. And as the two of them fight, what we see is that Respawn and Robin, they are very close to the same playing field. If Damian makes one wrong step, he could very easily lose this fight. But they get interrupted by Batman, coming in on the Batplane, jumping from the air. He tries to break this up, but quickly recognizes that Respawn looks identical to Damian Wayne, with Damian giving him the lowdown, trying to have him understand that this is more or less a clone of himself. As they are learning this information, this is where Dr. Moon gets a hold of Deathstroke. This communication, though, it is coming from Angel Breaker. The Demon Shadow has found one of Deathstroke's associates, and now they are trying to use him as some kind of leverage telling Slade Wilson that if he surrenders himself, all of his men, his secret society, they will be left alone, with Batman trying to mediate this situation, trying to let them know that he will bring in Deathstroke. Talia al Ghul needs to stand down all of her people, but at this point, nobody is listening to Batman. The truth of the matter, Talia al Ghul has her agenda. She has her mission, and nothing is going to stop her from that. And of course, Deathstroke is unwilling to surrender himself. He knows full well that if he does so, he is a dead man. Also knowing that he didn't do this crime, that he is not responsible for the murder of Ra's al Ghul. There is no way he is going to turn himself in to anybody, that includes Batman. This is where we see the assassination of Dr. Moon. And of course, Batman is absolutely furious, telling Deathstroke that he could have stopped all of this. But Slade lets him know that you're not thinking clearly. You and I both know if I turn myself in, the secret society and Deathstroke Incorporated, it would all be dead, period. It wouldn't matter if I turned myself in or not. The only thing that would accomplish is getting Slade Wilson killed as well. But recognizing that Batman's probably not gonna let him out of this situation, he takes a grenade and he throws it off of the building. As it lands close to some of these civilians, we see Batman and Robin jump into action. The two of them able to rescue these people before the detonation. Unfortunately, Respawn, Slade Wilson, and Ravager have made their escape. With Deathstroke now being gone, Batman is telling Robin to fill him in, that he needs to know everything. And what Damian says is that he believes Respawn. Batman finding this very hard to accept. The truth of the matter is, for some reason, he believes Respawn. Knowing his own facial expressions, he believes he knows when Respawn may be lying. Moreover, he believes that Respawn is protecting his quote-unquote father. That leaves Batman wondering if Deathstroke is not responsible for the death of Ra's al Ghul. That means somebody else is out here playing a very dangerous game. Batman also proposing to Damian that they work on this together, telling him that he has failed in so many ways, but he would like the opportunity to really win his good graces again, that he wants to solve this case with him, and he will do whatever it takes to prove that. Of course, that starts off with Damian Wayne flying the Batplane. As they begin to head off and track down Deathstroke, Damian has to ask, are we going to call in backup? Are we going to call in the other Robins? Dick Grayson, so on and so forth. What Robin doesn't know is that they have already called in some backup, calling in Batman Incorporated. Not only that, Batman Incorporated is being led by Ghostmaker. And so this story picks us up at Blackgate Penitentiary, and we are picking up with a convict that has been here for a little bit now. This convict, he is one of the few Deathstrokes that was out there dressing up as Deathstroke, causing mayhem for the Justice League. Both Batman and Damian believing that it is just too coincidental that both this Deathstroke and an imposter Deathstroke are out there. One of them killed Ra's al Ghul, and since they got this guy in jail, they think maybe, just maybe, it is one of his associates. And it doesn't take long for Batman and Robin to get the information out of this guy. Now, a few months ago, the Justice League encountered a crew of fake Deathstrokes. They had been working for the Royal Flush Gang. They went to an individual by the name of Gamby, a guy who makes costumes and suits for villains and supervillains alike. And when they were with Gamby, getting their costumes, getting their Deathstroke disguises, there was somebody else there. What he refers to as a very quiet, very odd individual standing off to the side, and he just so happened to be getting a Deathstroke costume as well. Getting this information, they head out and Batman checks in with Ghostmaker. Ghostmaker and Batman Incorporated, they have been out here rounding up all of Deathstroke Incorporated. Now, I do want to throw out there is a lot of freaking Incorporateds going around. There is a whole lot of team building that has been happening, but I also don't hate the idea that Ghostmaker Ravager is leading Batman Incorporated. If anybody is capable enough to be running this operation, it is 100% Ghostmaker. And we'll find out in the annual Batman 2022 exactly how Ghostmaker ended up becoming the leader of Batman Incorporated. And while many in Batman Incorporated, they're not really up to the task of protecting everybody in Deathstroke Incorporated, believing them to be lowlives and really just should let Talia al Ghul have her way with all of them. But with Ghostmaker saying that this is what they are going to do, this is what they are going to do, at least for now. Now, Deathstroke, Ravager, and Respawn, all out of their costumes in disguises trying to stay hidden. They have made their way to Washington, D.C., and they did this because Slade, he wants to get eyes on the crime scene. He wants to see this from the eyes of a killer. Try to understand what this Deathstroke was really getting at, what this imposter was really trying to do here, hoping that maybe, just maybe, this will help him understand who this individual is and why they want to bring him down. Batman and Robin, they're flying over the skies. And Robin, he can't help but think about Respawn. You know, this isn't the first time that Damian has dealt with a clone of himself. But he does feel like there is something different about Respawn. What Robin doesn't want for Respawn is for him to learn from Slade Wilson. He doesn't want Respawn to become like Deathstroke. Robin wants to help him, just like Batman has always done for Damian and the rest of the Bat family. Batman not saying any words to this. They arrive on location at Gambi's place. But getting into Gambi's store, this is where they find someone has beat them here, going down some secret passages. They're trying to see if they can find any kind of evidence, any kind of clue, accidentally running into a laser tripwire. There is a giant explosion followed by hails of gunfire, accidentally tripping all of these traps. They are barely able to make it out of this hallway. Unfortunately, when they get on the other side of this door, someone has already beat them to the punch. This imposter Deathstroke, he knows that Batman is on their trail, and so he is going and tying up any loose ends. Believing Gambi to be dead, he is in fact just heavily tranquilized, which means he is not giving Batman any information. This is when Damian is starting to piece together that this has nothing to do with Ra's al Ghul. This is all about Talia al Ghul and Deathstroke. He believes that somebody wanted to start this war, being interrupted by our imposter Deathstroke, telling Batman and Robin that if they are smart, they need to stay out of all of this, that this war will stop, but only when Slade Wilson has truly been punished. Picking up with Deathstroke and his children, they are standing on a building and Deathstroke is just examining everything going on. And then Deathstroke, he starts to holler at the air, saying that you can come out now, telling whatever of Batman's lackeys that are following him that he would like to talk. This is where we see the Hood, one of the members of Batman Incorporated. Deathstroke telling the Hood that he is ready to meet up with his leader, that he knows who killed Ra's al Ghul. As the Hood goes to tell Deathstroke that Batman is not his boss, nor is he his leader, they get attacked by a crap ton of ninjas, coming up from every direction and every angle, taking a page directly out of Deathstroke's book. These ninjas have freaking guns. As these ninjas are raining down bullets, we see Deathstroke jump into action. Ravager and Respawn, along with the Hood, are fighting side by side, trying just to survive this. The only issue is they are severely outnumbered. Dozens of rifles are pointed directly at Slade Wilson as they're getting ready to unload on him. This is where we see Respawn jump in to try and stop them as the ninjas unload every single bullet they have. Ravager is trying to make her way to Deathstroke and Respawn, But as she arrives, what she sees is Deathstroke holding Respawn in his arms. Respawn appearing to be dead. Deathstroke saying "not again" over and over. And this just got escalated to level 1000. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with the crime doctor working as best he can to try and bring back Respawn. But after much effort, he has to call it. Even if this wasn't some backdoor doctor, the truth of the matter, Respawn was never going to live through his wounds, making the declaration that Respawn is dead. It takes everything in Deathstroke not to put a bullet in the doctor right here, right now. Ravager being the only thing that stops him from doing so. The doctor being able to make his escape. We have Deathstroke at the bedside of Respawn. Deathstroke has lost yet another son. Respawn not even having a real name. He never had a real opportunity to become what he could. Deathstroke being infuriated by the idea the Al Ghuls, they created him, they tortured him, treated him like he was nothing, and now they are responsible for his death. But Deathstroke knows exactly what he needs to do now. That Al Ghul family needs to be brought down. Every single last one of them. This is where we pick up with Batman, Robin, and our imposter Deathstroke. Batman trying to figure out what this guy's motives are altogether. He doesn't believe he's done anything necessarily bad. Yes, he killed Ra's al Ghul, but he also sees Ra's al Ghul as one of the greatest threats that Batman has never put down. He has attempted genocide for centuries. And by the looks of it, Batman was going to let him continue to attempt this. But this was only part of his mission. He wanted Talia and Deathstroke to destroy one another. Underneath his voice, Robin can tell that he is hiding an accent. He also seems very perplexed by the idea of having to wear this costume, saying that this is everything that he hates. It is a physical representation of his opposite. Even going as far as saying that he has been under the command of Batman at one point in time. Breaking up this conversation, we see the imposter pull out a pistol and he starts unloading on Batman. The gun knocked out of his hand, he goes to make a run for it. And while he runs, he punches straight through a freaking rock wall. As this place starts to cave in on all of them, they have to make their escape, with our imposter Deathstroke being able to make his getaway. Batman and Robin are left here wondering what triggered that cave-in. There were no explosions. There were no triggers. And as Batman investigates, he's starting to get an idea of who this might be. Meanwhile, we have Batman Incorporated who are doing their babysitting job. They are currently looking after the secret society. The society that Deathstroke had created. What remains of his forces, they are under the protection of Ghostmaker. Unfortunately, they are about to be attacked. With the explosions going off, we see Deathstroke enter the room, but Deathstroke is nothing more than a distraction. Ravager, she is freeing all of the secret society, letting them all know that there will be no killing. Right now, they just need to get out of Gotham as quickly as they can. And so while they make their escape, we have Deathstroke and Ghostmaker meeting for the first freaking time. Slade is letting Ghostmaker know that he has it from here, that he was able to track his men because he has tracking devices on them. That's how he was able to find this location. And while they both know each other by reputation, Ghostmaker has never been impressed with Deathstroke because Deathstroke's the guy that goes after kids. Without skipping a beat, Ghostmaker goes in to make his first attack. Their swords clashing together. We see Ghostmaker just wrecking him, knocking him straight through a window. Ghostmaker goes to finish this job off, while letting it be known that the rumors he has heard, they are true. Deathstroke is getting old. He's getting slow, needing to make a quick exfil. He grabs hold of Clown Hunter, with Deathstroke putting a gun to his head. He lets Ghostmaker know that you are going to let us out of here. Ghostmaker warning him that if he doesn't let him go, it will be something he greatly regrets. He breaks the arm of Clown Hunter, and he tells Ghostmaker that you may be fast, but are you really going to risk Clown Hunter's life? Are you going to risk the life of this kid to see how good you really are? Ghostmaker believing that if Clown Hunter were to die, this would make Batman cross that line, and so he agrees to let them go, letting it be known that Talia's demons, they will find them, that he only did this for a favor to Batman. Deathstroke making his exfil, he hits a button and detonates the entire building. Deathstroke taking one of the Batplanes, him and his secret society, they head off. But they're not going to some hideout to lay low. They are going directly to Talia al Ghul. They are bringing the war to the front door, picking up with Talia al Ghul and Angelbreaker. They are deciding what to do with Grandmother, the one known as Mother Soul. Ra's al Ghul was the only reason she was left alive, and so with his death, she is sending her back to Lazarus Island. She tries to give warning that the demon is going to rise, that the return is inevitable. But right now, she has more pressing concerns to worry herself with. They are tracking a Batplane coming into the sector, giving them permission to land. She believes that this is Batman with Robin coming to say that they made a mistake and they are joining forces with them, only to be surprised with the entire secret society jumping out of this plane, and the final battle of the Shadow War has begun. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with Batman and Ghostmaker. Batman trying to figure out how Deathstroke was able to get away. This building completely in shambles. Ghostmaker isn't trying to get anybody killed in stopping Deathstroke in the secret society. The fact of the matter, none of them wanted protection. They wanted to leave, so Ghostmaker let them. Not only that, Deathstroke had broken Clown Hunter's arm. Not wanting to see anybody actually get hurt in this, Ghostmaker just let them go, and it was the right call. But he also lets it be known that Deathstroke, he seemed unhinged, almost frantic, and that is because Batman has no idea that Respawn is dead. Robin just finding out that he has a brother, legitimately excited about this. But soon they are going to learn that Deathstroke's bloodlust is fueled by the death of Respawn. That's what takes us over to Nepal. The bloody battle is breaking out. The secret society instructed to leave nobody alive. Some factions, like the Demon's Fist, recognizing that they don't want to be slaughtered by Deathstroke, they break off of this. That they offered help to Talia's family out of family honor, but refusing to die in this fight. Some of them make their retreat. Angelbreaker believing that maybe it's time that they get out of here. Talia al Ghul is done running. She is definitely not gonna run from Slade Wilson, letting Deathstroke know that he is going to pay for the death of her father. And though Deathstroke says that that was not him, they are already too far past that to go and stop now. Even if Deathstroke didn't do it, they killed Respawn. As the two of them clash swords, we pick up on the Ghost Stream as the team gears up and they put on their bat gliders. This will allow them to come in completely undetected. Batman letting Robin know he is not joining them on this endeavor. Damian's not sure what this is about, trying to figure out if this has something to do with the death of Alfred, because Batman did tell him if Damian had been there, then Alfred wouldn't have died. Something that Batman greatly regrets saying, letting him know that he doesn't want him out there because of what happened to Alfred. Alfred's death was Bruce's fault. He needs to know that Damian is safe in this war. That is the only reason he is asking him to stay behind. Now, of course, Damian, he's going to do what Damian does, telling Batman that he simply needs to trust him. We see Damian go jump out of here without a freaking glider. Batman going and diving after him. The assault is on. As they land on the ground, they make their way through all of these ninjas. We see Angelbreaker and Ghostmaker, they have a confrontation because they have a little bit of history. Their history is very, very bumpy. Without missing a beat, we see Angelbreaker go after Ghostmaker. As Batman and Robin go rushing in, Robin is quickly looking around for Talia and Deathstroke, almost getting caught off guard by one of these ninjas. Ravager is able to save him. But this is where the news is broken, because Ravager is only fighting by Deathstroke's side because of the death of Respawn. information that Robin was not privy to yet. And this breaks Damien's heart. Because yes, he has his brothers in the Bat family. This was his half-brother, both of them sharing the same mother. Even if it was done through experimentation, for the first time in his life, he had a true brother. And now that has been ripped away from him. Taking a minute to take this information in, he tells them that they need to go find Mother. They need to bring an end to all of this right now. That's where we pick up with Deathstroke and Talia al Ghul, the two of them going against one another. And Talia is trying to figure out, if you didn't kill Ra's al Ghul, why are you here trying to kill me now? And that is because Deathstroke believes this whole family needs to be put down, divulging the whole story, letting her know that Ra's al Ghul created a clone. That clone was Respawn, her own son. He wanted to raise this child his way, but that has been taken from him. Someone had set them both up. They wanted this war. But he lets her know that he's not going to kill her. He's going to torture her, make her watch as he kills Batman. And then Damian Wayne after that. Completely enraged, she goes in with full force. In her anger, Deathstroke gets the upper hand. As he takes his sword and is about ready to chop off her head, she grabs that sword with her hand, and her other hand having a dagger, she takes it and puts it right into the ribs of Deathstroke, with Deathstroke laying there bleeding out on the ground. Ravager, Batman, and Damian Wayne, they arrive just a second too late, before Ravager has any time to truly mourn. This is where our imposter shows his face. Now, he had really hoped that they had killed each other. The fact that they didn't just means that his job is going to be a little more complicated. This is when they start to feel a rumble, almost as if this is an earthquake. Talia trying to figure out why this imposter Deathstroke wants to take down the whole empire of the Al Ghuls. Why they are trying to destroy the Demon Empire. He lets it be known that Deathstroke had hurt his family, but the Al Ghuls, they hurt their country, because the people of Markovia, they need their prince to get revenge for them. The person underneath this mask is Geo-Force. Alright gang, so with this story, we are picking up back in the past, back in Markovia. Geo-Force being the superhero of Markovia. Right now, he is arguing because Leviathan, they are coming in, swooping in, and being the backers behind everything financially. This country is extremely poor. Leviathan came to them with a proposition to make them very wealthy. And now that Geo-Force, he's not necessarily invulnerable anymore. He may be a prince, but he is symbolic more than anything else. This is when everything comes down. Fire rains down from the sky. Leviathan is falling. Thousands dead. The entire city leveled. Geo-Force left there, wounded, ego bruised. He vowed his revenge. All of this was because of Talia al Ghul. In her quest to restore her family's empire, they annihilated Leviathan with no care for what it hurt or destroyed. When Ra's al Ghul came to the world and told him he was going to change, this is when Geo-Force saw his opportunity, a chance to take both Deathstroke and the Al Ghul family down. Geo-Force has gotten to a point where he is tired of these individuals being able to thrive. After everything Deathstroke had done to his family, Geo-Force had tried to stop him, but failed. He believes that they should have been taken out years ago. And he says, posing as Deathstroke, it hurt his heart to his very soul. But he had to do what he had to do. He's not asking Batman to do anything in this situation except for turn around and let him deal with what he has to do. Finish this job and end the line of the Al Ghul. Before Batman can try and talk any sense into him, we see that he is already unhinged. Angel Breaker coming into the room and letting all the ninjas know to protect Talia al Ghul. As they come in on Geo-Force, he uses his powers and he knocks all of them off to the side, telling everyone that they need to evacuate. Geo-Force is bringing down the whole building. The Secret Society, they grab hold of Deathstroke's dead body. They get him him out of here before everything falls down. We see Canary come in on a bat plane to save the day. Batman, Robin, Talia, and Ravager, they all hop on board. From the destruction, we see explosions everywhere. Clipping the bat plane, they have to go down for an emergency landing. As they look at the destruction and all of the rubble, they wonder if Geo-Force was able to make it out alive. The only reason Canary was here is because Angel Breaker had come to her, letting her know that they were going to kill Deathstroke. Ever since then, she has been following her, finding out what she can. This fight, though, it is far from over. With Geo-Force using the land around him, he creates a giant 20-story tall golem made of rock and dirt. He brings down his mighty fist to end the line of the Owl Ghouls. As everyone dives and dodges out of the way trying to avoid getting crushed, we see young Damian Wayne making his way up this monster. Damian, calling Geo-Force out, he exposes himself, being able to get in close quarters with him. Young Robin is here to teach him a lesson, no matter how he justifies it, no matter how Geo-Force tries to twist it. At the end of the day, you cannot call yourself a hero when you kill people, when you go out of your way and you murder them in cold blood. Getting a kick to the face, we see Geo-Force fall down, crumbling to the ground. Robin being saved by Batman just in the nick of time before he is crushed, and Talia having a knife to Geo-Force's neck, letting him know if she feels so much as a tremor, she will end his life right here, right now. Every bit of her wants to slit his throat. Batman going to try and stop her. This is where Damian steps in, letting Bruce know that he has this, that Bruce needs to trust him. Going over to his mother, he lets her know that she doesn't have to do this. Ra's al Ghul, he earned his death. In the end, he believed that this family could do better, and he also believed that he needed to pay for his actions. What he wanted more than anything was a change, and he believed that that started with Damian Wayne, letting Talia know that this is her chance. This is her opportunity to live up to those wishes. Dropping the blade and going to hug her son, Geo-Force tries to make a move only to get drop-kicked by Talia. With this battle being over, Director Chase comes and arrests Geo-Force. Slade Wilson's body has not been recovered yet. Ravager is going out to find out what they did with him. Angel Breaker escaping with what is remaining of the demon's shadow. It is very likely that she is going to be taking up leadership. Ghostmaker will continue to lead Batman Incorporated, and Talia al Ghul, she has turned herself in to answer for her crimes. When it comes to Batman and Robin, this is the first time that they have actually been able to take a minute and have a real conversation. Now that everything is not falling down around them, Bruce gets the opportunity to finally say that he was wrong, that he should have been trusting Damian this whole time. Because the truth is, it is hard for Bruce to understand how much Damian is really growing. In his mind, this is his son, his child, and sometimes through a father's eyes, it's hard to see how much they have changed and grown. But more than ever, Bruce is now seeing it. And he lets him know that he is proud of him, of the man that he is becoming, and that he will always have a place at Batman's side. Before they can talk about his new girlfriend, before they can talk about the death tournament, Oracle calls in and lets them know that they got a job to do. A job for Batman and Robin. That is what takes us to Deathstroke's dead body. The secret society having him at one of these Lazarus pits. Knowing the location because they have members in the secret society who were part of the League of Shadows. Even if it was momentarily, they know where one of the pits are and they are going to use this to bring back Slade Wilson. Not really sure what to expect out of this. He stays down there for quite some time, and then the Lazarus pit, it turns black. And from this black like tar, we see Deathstroke rise again. The secret society not really sure what they've just done. Slade asks, where is Talia? Being briefed on everything, meeting. They ask what is next. He lets them know that he has a new contract. That contract is to kill everyone. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I expected the fight with Geo-Force to be a little bit more. They ended it relatively quickly. Geo-Force could have kept himself encapsulated in rock, and Robin could have never got to him. So they throw in that little bit of plot armor, call him out, use his ego against him, make him show his face, and Robin puts him down. This Shadow War really has just been the character growth of Damian Wayne. We are seeing him really come into his own and become his own superhero. As deadly as Talia al Ghul, as smart as Bruce Wayne, but better than both of them. Now, if only we could get a Tim Drake series that has been this freaking good. I'm telling you, Shadow War has been a really fantastic, well-paced event. I have thoroughly enjoyed every single issue of this. Now, when it comes to Deathstroke, this is a very interesting turn of events, because this is supposed to be continued on in Dark Crisis number 1. This has me believing that Deathstroke could possibly be the prophecy that Mother Soul was talking about, that the true demon was going to rise. Ra's al Ghul stopped using the Lazarus pits. He knew that there was something wrong with them, and with this blackness, we can only assume that the Great Darkness has something to do with this. If every bad guy is more or less an avatar of the Great Darkness, from the Empty Hand to Darkseid himself, I think it is fair to assume that the demon itself is in fact an avatar of the Great Darkness. With Deathstroke being put into the Lazarus pit, there is a very good possibility that he has bargained with the demon, that he is now an avatar for the demon, which is an avatar for the Great Darkness. So it's going to be very interesting to see what direction they're going to be doing with this character. Now, of course, that is all speculation. And you guys know me, I don't read any solicitations or anything that's about to be coming out. I like to be surprised when I read my comics. But that's really the vibe that I'm getting from this story. And I am really hoping that Dark Crisis is going to live up to the hype that they have been making it. They have the potential to do some really great things here with the next generation of heroes. And I really hope that they nail this landing. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the super thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you don't miss any of the awesome content that we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.